Look, Ricky, I know you're disappointed that you're not playing that much, so I thought we'd have a little bit of a chat and just iron some things out. You're a brilliant player, and I'm really glad that you're here. We've made a really good start to the season. You started off really well, and the honest reason is that you've just not really been in that good form. Chamiti's come in with some pretty Chamiti finishes. See what I did there? Oh, come on, mate, it's just a joke. But at the moment, he's in the pecking order. Get your head down, keep training hard, don't let your reputation precede you, and you'll earn your way back into favour. I'm not being unfair. Alright, mate, off you go on. Oh, if you also get approached by Piers Morgan, do me a favour, can you get the address, or his address, so I can send that flaming turd that I've got ready for him? And then also, don't talk to him at all, alright? Don't do any interviews, don't do anything stupid, don't do anything attention-seeking. Don't be like that Ronaldo chap, you're 10 times the player he'll ever be, mate. Hello viewers, welcome to another episode of the FIFA 23 Career Mode. Yes, we are here back with Derby County, and we're currently sat 6th in the Championship in the playoff position, 14 points off of leaders Burnley, who we will be playing today, as well as Leeds United and West Brom. It is a very big episode with some very difficult fixtures. As you can see here, most of these are actually going to be at home. 3 home games against Leeds, West Brom and Burnley. So hopefully home comforts will be able to get us through against the big boys. But before that, we travel away to Huddersfield, who aren't doing too badly in the league either, and are a team I don't particularly play that well against on FIFA. I've come up with against them a few times and slipped up, which isn't brilliant. In terms of the lineup, not really much has changed. Chamiti's now firmly ahead of Ricky J. Jones in the pecking order, considering his very good form. What isn't good form at the moment, though, unfortunately, is, as usual, the defence. Blake Daniels coming to our rescue very early on in this game, but Huddersfield were all over me. The home advantage really pressing near. And I have to say, in this episode in particular, there's a lot of FIFA nonsense that I don't really want to discuss too much. This FIFA is arguably, for me, the worst that there's been since FIFA 16. It is just impossibly difficult. I don't know what's happened, but it seems that since the patch, every second ball falls to your opposing player. You can't win anything in the air. I don't know. Defensively, I used to be pretty good on FIFA, but as you can tell in this, because Huddersfield are already 2-0 up from a corner and from just a nonsense load of bouncing around, it just feels impossible to win the ball back and then keep it without it falling to an opponent player. The amount of easy ball retention that they get is just so infuriating. We did manage to bounce back a little bit there. Chamiti obviously hitting a good shot. Tanganga had a very good down the right hand side, and he played in Chamiti. I say Tanganga had a good down the right hand side. Attacking he did, but he's meant to be a defender. But Chamiti continues his very good goal scoring form as Tanganga get down the right there. Lovely ball across, and Chamiti sliding in to bury it from only 2 yards out. And fortunately, we were somehow meant to get back to 2-2 before half-time. Caddick with a lovely finish across the goalkeeper there. It's a great ball through to him, to be honest. Playing him through. I've tried to kind of amend some of the instructions a little bit from an attacking point of view. Not in this game, but you'll see in later episodes. Sorry, not later episodes. In later games, I've changed it up a bit to get more players into the box, because it does feel like I don't have a lot of options when I do get down wide. The second half kicked off, and again, pretty much like the first, Huddersfield dominated throughout, really. We didn't offer that much of a threat. There was one really good ball that Brenner played over the top here to Cole Palmer, who came in for Louis Sibley, and it was an equally good save by the goalkeeper, and we were made to pay for that chance, as Huddersfield weren't going to miss that. The defending here, I think my biggest issue in gripe, apart from obviously the rebounds, which has always been a thing on FIFA, is the AI defending. They just wander off into random positions. He's got so much room there. I'm playing a back four, but the strikers have got so much room, it's unreal, and that's not something you can kind of control. I was trying to cover over manually, it didn't work, and then just nobody follows the runs. They drop too deep. It's infuriating, and unfortunately, it was going to get even worse. As you can tell, it's a brilliant bit of football. I tried to bring Blake Daniels out to intimidate the striker. It didn't work. They just squared it over to his teammate, and Huddersfield got a well-deserved 4-2 win. I've got no gripes with it at all. They were the better team throughout. We had a couple of decent attacks and scored from them. other than that, they were phenomenal. We just didn't cope. And that put me in a pretty bad mood going into the Leeds game, because these are arguably 3 of the hardest fixtures we're going to have all season. So I wasn't expecting us to do very well, let's put it that way. And it started off as I kind of thought it would, really. There's a little bit of rebound nonsense, but Blake Daniels makes a brilliant one-headed save to keep it at 0-0, only 4 minutes, and stop us getting behind early. Jimenez is a bit of a quandary, actually, I have to say. He's brilliant going forward, but I do feel it's a bit of an issue at the back. I feel very Liverpool right now. The fullbacks are pretty decent, but it's just too open. They're too open. Unfortunately, Chamiti missed the chance that he set up for him. And, I mean, this is what I'm talking about. Somehow they've just bulldozed one of my players off of the ball, and it's fallen to Bebu. And when I was trying to switch the player, it just wouldn't go to anyone near him. It went to the bloke behind him. You can tell that you see Nesvik, and then he just wanders off. I was trying to get hold of either Mengi or Jimenez just to try and get back in there, and it just wouldn't do it. So Bebu scores. Can't really argue with it. It's just infuriating, to be honest. It's hard for me to think about this game and not get annoyed at the moment as Blake Daniels makes another good save. Leeds were thoroughly on top. I wasn't playing particularly well, but this is beginning to really wind me up. For all the good stuff that Blake Daniels has done, the amount of near post finishes that happen in FIFA is not realistic. The near post is meant to be one of the hardest places to score goals. And in this, it's like the Grand Canyon. It might as well be that wide, honestly. Like, just goalkeepers don't know how to defend it at all. We did bounce back early in the second half, though. Chamiti finishing a good layoff there from Louis Sibley, who returned back to the squad for a local boy in a sort of semi-derby. I think Leeds and Derby is sort of a bit like a derby. There's obviously a little bit of tension between the two teams, and that's why this one was all the more hard to stomach, as then Blake Daniels makes another brilliant point-blank save, and look, they somehow win the ball back from me having it, and he was behind me. Again, Blake Daniels making a great save. I was losing my rag by this point, because it just felt like no matter what I did, no matter how well I defended, no matter what tackle I made, no matter how many interceptions I made, it didn't matter. It's just like, again, defenders not following. It's another near post finish. That one's a little bit easier to forgive, as Tyler Adams makes it 3-1 to Leeds. And annoyingly, we did manage to bounce back again in the last minute with Chamiti getting another goal to make it 3-2. We don't lose by many, but it's too easy to score goals. You can tell the Leeds thoroughly deserved it. Again, I'm not going to sit there and complain, but we needed to bounce back against West Brom. And this is when I made a few changes to the tactical instructions. I've put us onto a more pressing game, rather than kind of being a little bit deeper and trying to sort of get more men behind the ball. I've got, you know what, we can't defend even when we do that. So the best thing to do is go after them and start pressing. And funnily enough, we win the ball high up the pitch, and Jimenez plays it through to Louis Sibley, and actually it's Cadleg, I think. Yeah, Jimenez won the ball back, then he plays it through to Sibley, and there's a decent finish into the far corner. It's only his 3rd goal this season. He's not been brilliant, as Louis, I have to say. He was obviously a stalwart last year, and one of the main reasons why we did so well in League One. But this year, not quite been up to standard. A guy who is rapidly growing on me is Blake Daniels, as he makes a brilliant save there to kind of keep us in the keep us ahead. And fortunately, the game suddenly starts to open up a bit. Jimenez does brilliantly there to tee up Brenner, who unfortunately can't quite get his shots away into the back of the net. A good rebound effort, snapshot, nearly went in. This sums me up as well at the moment, though. When teams press me, I'm not playing very well in FIFA at the moment, I won't lie. It's happening a lot in Ultimate Team, it's happening even more in Career Mode, where I'm just giving the ball away at stupid angles. Having said that, how in the world has that gone in? Just look at the angle here that Daryl Dykes on. He's got to bend it round one of my players and then pass Blake Daniels to get it in. It's an absolutely abhorrent bit of game design. It really is so poor, and this wound me up no end. They literally chipped a ball out straight to Sibley, and the ref blows it for half time. He's literally 18 yards out, for God's sake. Second half started, and we were actually dominated West Brom during this game. We were pretty much the better team for the majority. We definitely had the better chances, as the goalie makes a great save there from Sibley. Second half, we really kind of stepped on the gas a little bit, as Bird whips in a great ball here, and Tanganga just loops the header over the top of the goalkeeper to make it 2-1. I needed that so badly, and it's his first. I think it's his first goal for the club. I don't think Tanganga's actually scored for us yet, so a big moment for him and a very, very big moment for me, because we needed to stop the tide here and turn it. Every time it feels like we're trying to build up a bit of form and we're getting somewhere, we end up just going into a moment where we'll just easily lose a couple of games on the spin and just undo all the good work. And you can tell that Blake Daniels, they're keeping me in it again. And they just win the ball back so many times in positions that they really shouldn't do. Like they're just so much stronger. And I don't understand why or how. Maybe it's the young players, I don't know. But you need to watch this. From the resulting corner, Ricky Jones picks it up from his own box. And, yeah, you guessed it. He's ran all the way, 89th minute, and it's a brilliant finish. But the run to get there, the sheer pace and run was phenomenal. The defending from them is pretty poor, to be fair. But I got him on a one-on-one. And with the pace of Jones, I don't think the defender ever had a chance. It was literally then if he could just finish it. That obviously meant quite a lot to him, and it meant a lot to all of us. You can tell by the celebrations, because I think we knew this was a massive game. If we had any aspirations of getting back into the promotion race, let alone the playoffs, we needed to pick up a win against these big boys. And fortunately, we mashed it against West Brom with a 3-1 win. In the next one, Tanganga moved over to centre-back because Mengi was tired, so Ferguson came on. And I was tempted to give Ricky J. Jones a start for Chamiti, but I have to say, Chamiti's been in such good form, it would be quite harsh to take him out. We take on top pace Burnley for the last episode, for the last game of the episode, and as usual, it started off as you would think. We concede the first goal because you know we always do. Josh Brownhill there with a decent finish, defending. Don't even ask. Literally, he has two people walking beside him by the time it's done. I have no words for how annoyed I was at that point. I've just realised, actually, I did start Ricky J. Jones. Forget what I said about Chamiti. I did start him. I just didn't put it in the clip. That's poor editing. Great effort there by Jones. He nearly hit the corner flag. God knows how he did it. It was ridiculous. Burnley went through on goal again here, and another decent save by Blake Daniels. Like I said, today I don't think I can have any complaints about our goalkeeping today, because Blake was absolutely on one. We won a free kick, only about 20 yards out, and Brenner hits a decent effort, but it's a great take by the goalkeeper. I've not really had that many free kicks this season, but I am quite enjoying the new mechanic of how you hit it. That's one plus point, I would say, to the game this year. There's very few, but that's definitely one of them. Jimenez finds Sibley here, who tees it over to Kenneth Brenner, and he's not having his best spell in front of goal. The goalkeeper then making a brilliant save equal to it, which was really frustrating, because it was a really well-worked move. And we continue to kind of keep them penned in, really, from the corner. You can see that the football we're playing is really, really nice. It's just the fact that we've not really been able to... that's just... Yeah, the less we say about that, the better. How that did not fall to one of my players, I have no idea. And it always just felt like the final ball was off in this game. You can tell maybe it's a lack of confidence in the players. I'm not 100% sure. But in the second half, we kind of turned on a bit. I brought Chukwuemeka on. As well as a couple of other players. Palmer was one of them as well. He came on for Sibley. And Garnacho, I actually moved to left back, and I have to say, he made a massive difference as he gets the assist here for Ricky J. Jones, who bends one into the top corner. A lovely finish. I felt a bit bad that I didn't start Chamiti actually in this. Probably in hindsight, I should have started him over Brenner. If we're going off of form, but you can't really stop Brenner. Garnacho was the difference maker today, though, as he has been for United on those appearances today. He intercepts a really good ball from left back, and then Ricky J. Jones tees in Brenner, and I can't speak ill of the man. I nearly just did and said that he wasn't on great form. He scored a great goal there to get us back up to 2-1 ahead. It was needed, desperately, desperately needed, because, yeah, honestly, there are no words for how annoyed I would be if we would have lost that game today. We dominated Burnley from start to finish, and he nearly missed, to be fair. He hits it in off the post. I'm going to say it's a precise finish, but he nearly did absolutely balls it up. 75 minutes on the clock, we were absolutely dominant this game. Chukwuemeka waits for Tanganga, who makes a brilliant run, and then he tees in Brenner, but again, goalkeeper equal to it. I was really trying to make sure we get that third goal and get 2 goals there, because you know we can't rely on the defence. And Garnacho made a massive difference, to be honest, as Chukwuemeka lays in Jones there, but everything good we were doing came down that left-hand side. We whip in a corner here. Chukwuemeka on the ball. Not a brilliant shot from him there. I was trying to bury it into the far corner with a volley. It didn't quite work. Tanganga's completely out of position here, but he plays a decent ball to Palmer. Lovely swivel. And there's the main man, Chamiti, who I brought on for Kenneth Brenner. He scored again. He's been a very adequate signing. For a free, I think he's probably been one of the best value ones that we've got. And you can tell that goal also meant a lot to the boys. Or is it just because every last-minute goal or goal after 85 minutes in this game follows the same celebration? Apart from this one, obviously, with Josh Brownhill knows that he's got to go back and get the ball if they're going to get something out of the game. Fortunately, they didn't. A 3-2 win, and you can tell there we absolutely dominated them. 60% possession to 40, 10 shots to 5, absolutely battered them. And that left us in 5th place in the league. But the important thing to realise is that obviously with that win, we've gained points on Burnley. They are now only 12 points ahead. and there's still a good solid, what is it, halfway through the season basically. We've still nearly got half the season to go. Coming up to Christmas, we're sat in a really, really good position. I'm feeling quite confident. But let me know what you think in the comment section. Are we going to get to the top of the league? Are we going to be able to win it? Hopefully so. But yeah, I mean, with my form at the moment, you're never 100% sure. If you have enjoyed today's episode, then please do leave a like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and until I see you again for another episode before Christmas time, stay cool.